Like God came into your
Yeah,
body.
just came right down.
This is my bed bun. I feel like I should probably take it down. Hi everyone, my name is Zoe and welcome back or welcome to the channel. Either way, hi, hello, I'm happy to have you here. So today we will be going on a journey. Today I signed up to get a Reiki healing session done, and I've never gotten Reiki done before, and I was like, wow, wait a minute, this is a really good excuse to make a video. I thought I would give you my initial idea of like what Reiki is before I even go and learn about it, and how I feel right now and how I feel afterwards. Right now in my life, I've been feeling very crappy emotionally and like spiritually and like mentally. I've not been doing so good. I'm okay, like I'm still going to work, I'm still eating, I'm still, you know, living my life and whatnot, but it's just like, I don't know, I feel like very muddy. That's the best way to explain it. And I just feel very disconnected from like everything. I feel like if any of my chakras are blocked, it would definitely be my root chakra, possibly my throat, and definitely also my crown chakra, because I feel super disconnected from the earth. I feel disconnected from myself. I feel disconnected from spiritual things. I just feel nothing anymore, you know? So my dad and I have a friend who got this Reiki healing done when they were very, very sick, and it helped them out a lot. At least that's the story I was told. So hopefully this will help me just as much as it helped her. And I'm actually really, really excited for this. You know, it might be something that I might want to learn, but I did want to experience it for myself before I really dedicated myself to anything. I feel like she's probably just gonna like hover her hands over me and like, I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm gonna try to be really aware of myself right now and see like how I'm feeling. Like today I'm feeling okay. I'm really anxious about this and I'm nervous, like, is it gonna work? How am I gonna feel? And it's a new thing. So of course I'm a little bit anxious about it. Let's go do some Reiki. Let's go learn about it, and see you guys in a little bit.
1 hour later.
Hi, I'm Lisa Furtek, and I'm a Reiki master teacher, and I've been practicing for over 10 years. And I'm here with Zoe. Reiki is an ancient Japanese healing modality that can help with spiritual, emotional, and physical issues. It's a gentle hands-on or hands-off healing. It's your choice. It brings the body into balance where it can heal itself. We all have that ability to heal ourselves. It taps into our parasympathetic nervous system where healing takes place, as opposed to the sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight, and that never does us any good.
Yeah.
And that's where we heal in the resting and relaxation state. And it complements other healing modalities and other spiritual practices too. A man named Dr. Usui, who was a Buddhist monk, was living in Japan. He rediscovered Reiki, which has been around for thousands of years. It had become a lost healing art. He rediscovered some ancient Sanskrits, and he was wondering what they meant. And the answers came to him in the form of a light that came in through his crown chakra and filled him with the knowledge of Reiki and the hand placements, symbols, etc., what Reiki is today. And his book is out there if you want to read it. He spent the rest of his life working in poor villages until his death. Then he trained someone to bring it to the United States. So it came to the United States in like around 1935 by a woman named Mrs. Chakra. Here it is now. I guess they used it on the battlefields thousands of years ago, you know, as opposed to having medical kits and things like that. They were equipped with Reiki. That's another thing that I read about. To me, it represents hope and acceptance and, of course, healing. It gives me a place from where I can help myself and others. And it's a better use of energy than, say, anxiety and
Me.
a waste of energy, really. Yeah, that's kind of how I started. You know, I did have a lot of anxiety, and I realize now that it's really just a part of me and my life, and they're not separated at all. It's just who I am and
Who
what
you
I
are,
do.
yes.
That's a tough one. But it's been a consistent part of my life for over 10 years. And I've documented or gotten feedback on hundreds of treatments. And I worked at a cancer center where people could come for Reiki and healing while they were being treated, or their family members could come too. So there are those clients as well. And I've really lost count. So I said between many hundreds or low thousands.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot of people. That's great.
As far as how a session will go, today's session involves an initial check-in to see what's going on and what you would like to address in your life. And if you're comfortable, you lie on your back, and I ground and center myself, and then I start the hand placements. And when you're ready, and if comfortable, you turn over, and we do the same thing on the other side. Oh, I forgot, I can check your chakras with a pendulum first. You don't always have to do that. I didn't always do that. And usually the imbalanced chakras will represent what the person's going through too. Usually, we don't always know. Some of it is subconscious or unconscious really. And then at the end, we go down to your feet again, and we smooth your energy, and I close the session with more grounding and whatever it is that one does in their grounding step, prayer. I offer you water, and I have water, and I run my hands underwater. That's really part of the session. If you see me going to the sink, I forget to tell people that, but I will be running, the negative energy, just rinsing your hands. Water is also very healing. We're supposed to sip water after. So it can be cumulative or sudden. So it's nice. It can happen either way. And really, Reiki becomes a teacher. So if you learn it and you practice it, you're being taught as you go along.
Yeah,
and you can take other classes, but Reiki becomes the teacher, which is a really interesting thing.
Kind of like with any sort of art or practice, you
Yes.
It's like a teacher can only teach you so much, but if you keep practicing it, then you'll learn new things and and stuff.
That's a good analogy because I never thought of it that way. Yeah. I mean, practice, yes, improves, but you learn as you're going along in ways that you wouldn't. So it's really awesome. Demo time.
Lay on my back.
Yes, on your back, and your head just at the knees there. Yes, perfect. So we have 7 chakras, and I think I usually start at the root chakra, and I just do a quick test to see. If this starts spinning, then I might focus more Reiki on that chakra. That was going around. You thought that might make sense. So when it does this, I let it stop. And then I go right to, that's your throat chakra. I do find that usually when I start at the throat, see, the top 3 are usually, that's just been my experience. Now this one, it's pretty good. That's your, just teeny tiny. Okay. Yeah. It happened at the end.
Yeah.
So
it's just starting to get a little clogged up.
I'll go yeah, it's just happening towards the end of it. Usually I will get centered and do what I normally do, and then we start with touching upon as much as possible the 7 chakras. So we start there. And we would go here. After a few minutes. Here. And then it would be under the back of the head, at the base of the neck. And you work your way down. Well, you would do this. Like that.
Like a hug.
Yeah. That's your throat chakra that I just did.
Mm.
And your heart. And then a few minutes each. Of course, here we go up. That's the root. And down the legs. And the feet. And that's half of a treatment. And you turn over and we sort of repeat it.
Do the same thing?
A little variation of that.
That's cool. I feel like since like my top 3 are the ones that are like more blocked, I feel like maybe that's why, because I feel like I've been feeling weird.
Right.
Because they say like obviously if you're unbalanced you're gonna feel wonky, but they say if like your root chakra is good but like everything else is messed up, you're gonna feel like extra crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
And all up here, right? Your head,
Yeah.
your brain, everything. Going on.
anxiety,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
freaking loneliness and all this stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
why though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Well, it's gotten me through all of this COVID stuff, just
Honestly.
plugging along and taking care of myself, treating myself. Busy.
Well, see you after.
See you later.
Bye. I just got back home from the Reiki and oh my gosh, that was an experience. It was probably one of the weirdest yet most peaceful experiences I've ever had in my life. So I'm just gonna tell you what I was feeling kind of during the Reiki and also after. So right before she started, I was so hot that I was literally sweating. And then as soon as she started, I got super cold. My hands felt like ice. She did say if I get too cold or anything that she has blankets and stuff so she would, keep me warm. But it wasn't like an uncomfortable cold, but it was definitely cold. I kept feeling, like when you suddenly have like a random shiver, I kept feeling that sensation, but my body wasn't like shivering. It was just that tingly sensation down my entire body, which was very interesting. When she was focusing on the third eye here, I had my eyes closed. I remember there was a bunch of like colors that I was seeing, and like when she was doing this, my eyes weren't bothering me before, but as soon as she reached to my third eye, my eyes felt like I was staring straight at the sun, and I was like clenching them like this, and I was seeing colors and they were moving moving in and out, and I kept seeing like the shape of a person, and then it like disappearing and then forming an eye, and then I just kept like expanding and closing and warping, and then like I saw like waves of color and stuff. It was really, really weird. And then she moved down to the throat chakra, and only like you saw the demonstration when she put her hands like this or like this around like on my chest, like to work on my throat chakra. She wasn't doing anything then, and I didn't feel anything then. But when she was doing it, like when she was actually doing the Reiki on my throat chakra, it felt like my throat was like really tight and it felt like closed kind of. It wasn't like hard to breathe and it wasn't hard to swallow, but my throat just felt really tight and closed. That was weird. And also I kept twitching in this arm. This arm just like kept like twitching randomly. I kept taking deep breaths and I wasn't doing it on purpose. It was just like just so relaxing, and it felt really good, and I wasn't like, okay, I gotta breathe deeply or anything like that. It just randomly would happen, and she said that that's normal and that the twitching was normal, and everything that I experienced was interesting, but it was also like normal, like it wasn't like weird or anything. So the only thing that I didn't tell her about, because I thought it'd be too weird, she's gonna see this video anyways, but towards the end, I was on my stomach at this point, and at the end she does the feet, and she was touching my feet, and during the entire thing there was like thoughts passing through my mind, like nothing really stood out. It was just like random images and me randomly talking to myself in my head, just normal stuff that happens to me every day. But at the end, as she was doing my feet, I heard this clear voice. It wasn't my voice. It sounded like a male's voice. It was very calm, and it said, I'm trying to remember exactly. And he was like, this is the path. This is where you're supposed to be. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what I said. This is the path. This is where you're supposed to be. And then I was like, what? Like, literally, I then heard my voice in my head say, what? And then I didn't hear it again, and then my thoughts just kept getting rambly again. But that thought literally stood out, and it wasn't my voice, and I was just like, okay. Oh, another thing that happened, when I was lying on my back, I had my hands like this at first, but then I felt like cold air brushing against my hand here, so I put it like this, and my fingers were open like this, but eventually, for some reason, they just went like closed like this, like that, and I don't know why they did that. I kept feeling, and my hand kept getting heavier and heavier feeling, which was odd, and it felt like even though I knew my fingers were touching, it felt like they were slowly coming apart, but I was watching, like I looked at my hand, and the fingers were still connected when it felt like they weren't even touching anymore, so I thought that was really weird, plus the weight in my hand was really weird, and I was just like, okay. Oh, and another thing, she said that sometimes people feel like she's touching them somewhere that she's not in like an inappropriate way, but she was like, did you experience anything like that? And I was like, kind of, because when she was working on my throat chakra right here, it felt like she was leaning over me, but I opened my eyes and she wasn't. And then I was like, okay, that's not it. And then I felt her move, and then I thought she was like laying next to my ear and like breathing just in my ear, which was really, really weird. And I was like, I don't know, maybe she's just getting comfy or something. But I asked her, and she's like, no. She's like, I turned my head to look out the window, but I didn't lay down next to you. That would be super weird. And I was like, I just heard your breath like right in my ear, even though you weren't there. I'm like, maybe my ear got like hypersensitive because I was like relaxing and kind of focusing. I don't know. It was a really interesting experience when she was working on the root chakra, and then all of a sudden I had to pee really bad, but I still had to wait for her to flip me over onto my back, and then once she got to the root chakra again on my back, I had to pee even more, and I kind of felt like my body was like, all right, it's time to flush this out. We're flushing out the chakras. But she said water is extremely healing and stuff like that. And I just thought it was interesting that right after the session, I had to run to the bathroom to go pee. That sip was the first sip I've taken since I gotten home. And when I went to her place, I hadn't taken a sip of this at all. So I literally drank from the top down to here of water right after the session. She said that she felt like I did a lot of releasing, and honestly, I felt really, really calm and peaceful afterwards. Even now, I feel like I can like breathe easier. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was taking a lot of deep breaths, or I don't know. I just honestly feel like a weight has been lifted off of my life. I did feel more peaceful when I was there, but now that I'm back home, I don't feel as peaceful as I did. Like, I just kind of feel normal now, which is definitely better than it was before. So that was my experience with Reiki. And honestly, I would do it again, and I recommend people doing it. Honestly, I really liked it, and I want to see what else would come out of like doing more of that, or even learning how to do it. She is a teacher level now. I'd really, really like to learn how to do that. There's a self-Reiki class is like the first one, and then you go to Reiki 1. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know at this point. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button down below, and please hit that subscribe button as well and join the little family. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.